He's right. Even if you want to say, I don't know what you probably see it as anyway, because I mean, he's right. He knows what people, what would they do? Nothing. And he continued to say, including myself. We do all these things. You can't choose your own leaders. You can't choose your own representatives. Your judiciary is gone. That should be a place where all madness are corrected. But that is now the headquarters of all the mad people. They've turned your law over its head. They've set their own rules, the rules of engagement. It is now about the highest bidder. It has never been so pronounced. Companies are leaving Nigeria and others are not coming simply because you do not have a reliable judicial system. You have judicial bandits now. The whole world watch them. Ignore the evidence against a drug heroin trafficker. A certificate forger violates all the rules and is their president. The world watched and saw that. Now your electoral umpire, INEC, is filled with the Tinubu's loyalists, APC, Egbekegbe card carrying members, like card carrying members of APC. They are the electoral commissioners for INEC. You saw the headline, you saw all of that, and everybody just move on. Your police, your military. I mean, this afternoon I shared a video where they were trying to make empower a committee to stop the Nigeria service chiefs from using the money meant for defense, from using the money to build university or use it for their own personal use. National Assembly is trying to empower a committee to beg the military chiefs not to use the defense fund. You don't have a country. That's one thing everybody should understand now. The achievement of these criminals is to monetize every problem. Insurgency, terrorism that started in Borno State has now enveloped the entire 36th state of Nigeria. People are dying left, right, and center because of these terrorists. And the criminals are boldly celebrating rehabilitated terrorists in front of you. Till tomorrow, they are still posting, their media are still posting repentant terrorists. You don't have a country. And that is why it is really, really very stupid to be asking for Tinubu to reduce the price of food as your reason for going out there to protest or something. So if a pastor says the Lord will provide, the children of God will never lack. There is no amount of hardship in this country, the children of God will never lack. I mean, if you stone that pastor in that your church, God will even clap for you. Do you know that? Oh, you don't know? Okay, I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I've seen it before. I mean, what does that even mean? People are facing serious economic hardship. Somebody is standing in front of you talking about prosperity, spiritual prosperity that will lift you out of all the hardship. And to make the matter worse, they possibly are going to tell you, don't join them because protesters are going to destroy this country. They are going to burn properties. That is the stage 2, in case if you don't know. Stage 1 is to use religion. They are already doing it in the north. I'm using church now because that's what they will do in the south. You know RCCG now. People will travel without aeroplane. You will go to London without aeroplane. They have commissioned them too.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not, the time is coming when you won't.
Whether you believe it or not. Here is another fraud. It's a pandemic. Do you remember him? It's a Patantami. It's a pandemic. Before Bukwari appointed him and he ended up, oh no, man.
Annabi tsira da aminci sabbata a gare shi yace duk ran da aka waye gari azzalimi zai yi zalunci ba wanda zai kalli idan sa yace kai zalunci yace cikin kasa yafi alheri da bayan kasar. Wallahi kada Allah ya nuna mana lokacin ran da Allah zai kawo ranar da za a yi zalunci a Najeriya fantari ba zai ce an yi zalunci ba. Ya Allah ka dauki rayuwa ta kawo lokacin. Ya Allah duk ran da ba zan iya cewa an yi zalunci.
Ya dukani he was crying in front of the gullibles. This was before Bokuwari's. This was when they were grooming people for Bokuwari's change in northern Nigeria. He got rewarded. He became a minister. A terrorist became a minister in Nigeria, and he's not just a minister. He became the Minister of Communication, monitoring all the phone calls, text messages, emails, postal orders, every mean of communication that exists. He became the man in charge. They invested so much in so many spywares to spy on Nigerians and all that, but they never actually used those equipment to capture any of these terrorists who would kidnap people and then use the people's mobile phones to contact their family members for ransom. And because the terrorists were in charge of the communication, the business was running smoothly. They could track you if you say something about Bokuwari at the time, but the same software couldn't track the terrorists that were milking the citizens, killing them, harvesting their organs, and forcing them to sell their properties to pay ransoms. Part of what actually wrecked a lot of people in northern Nigeria. So the tradition continues. There are other different people there now. The Minister of Defense is from northern Nigeria, Jigawa. The Minister of State for Defense is from Zamfara, Patawale. And the insecurity in northern Nigeria is being blamed on Tinubu. They said Tinubu has abandoned them. And these guys are now those who have hired their clerics in northern Nigeria to convince these people, please, don't let anybody lie to you, okay? President Tinubu is doing so much. We know you can't see it yet, but it is a ram to go out there and join the protesters, because if you join these protesters, they will bring this country down. That's that's kind of messages you'll be hearing soon. If you are not hearing it, if you have not started hearing them, this is what they are telling them in the north. Meanwhile, because the political class in northern Nigeria, they wanted to use the people for the next election. Sure, you get. They wanted the people to wait till 2027. But they should stay angry. They should stay bitter, so they can use that for politics. But the problem right now is this. People that are talking about hitting the streets in northern Nigeria, they want to do it now. They don't want to wait till 2027. So, those who are on the side of Tinubu, those who have received appointments, who are part of the those ones are paying the clerics to tell the people that Tinubu will give them food. They are waiting for importation of food. Northern Nigeria will receive special treatment. They should not join any protest. If they join the protest, they will bring this country down. Enemy of Nigeria, they will destroy Nigeria. The other opposition, I'm talking about those ones who conspired to make Tinubu president, and they lost out in the sharing formula, and they are regrouping right now, with the promise that they will take back the power for themselves. They want to do it next time, and if this protest should go on, there may be no 2027, and they cannot afford that. They want to milk the system, but not this way. These two agents in northern Nigeria right now, they are the forces that are trying to make sure that even if you see anybody come out to say having power in any part of northern Nigeria, they will not be enough to shake or change anything. All right? Also, the impression in northern Nigeria also is not that of the system has failed. They have been made to believe a Yoruba man is the president. And that is why they are now suffering more. You get that now? So some of them, they want Tinubu gone. Maybe Shitty Man should be there. Why the remaining terrorists from northern Nigeria called governors, kleptomaniacs and criminals who are in charge of, who are their senators and reps, the criminals who are milking them, okay, they would possibly want them to remain, at least some of them. But you need the ideology, all of you which they watch me from northern Nigeria, to prove to everybody that you are actually really ready and you are serious. It is not Tinubu that has to go alone. All of your state governors, you need to, in fact, when you stage your protests, you stage them at the government houses. I'm not part of those organizing all these protests, so I just want to make sure that everybody who is going to come across my video, they are going to understand that any fight at all, now fight, that a lot of you will prefer this way or that way. It should be done this way or that way. And because they don't do it your way or that way, you help to shut them down. So you get that thing. So I want you to, those of you who come across my video, to know that it doesn't really matter right now whether they are going to prove that they were tired or not. Whether the government or the regime, the criminals are going to clamp down on them and kill them or not. That is going to be secondary. The first part is every time you try to badmouth it, every time you downplay it, you are indirectly and subconsciously doing the work of Tinubu. And I need you to know this, you are doing it for free. Right now, there are millions, if not billions, of your naira that are being mobilized across the states in Nigeria right now in order to discourage people from ever gathering at all. Talk less of gathering enough number that will force these people to panic. Here you get, they are paying people for it. So if you are going to tell people not to stand up, my friend, I don't believe in it. My friend, is all nonsense. My that you want to say. I just need to remind you that even though you are doing it because of your supposed bias, nothing will happen. I agree. Let's agree that nothing will happen. But do you know that when you keep saying that, you are doing a free job for Tinubu and the people who put everybody in this mess? They are paying people to say that, but you are on social media, condemning it, saying how much is not going to happen, how much the people are useless, how the people can never come out. Like I said, you are saying them subconsciously because you believe it won't happen, but you know what you are doing. You are doing a free job for Tinubu and gang. People, they collect 50,000, 100,000 to say that on social media right now. And they have been hired. There are others that have been hired to come out in Lagos and Abuja and say that Nigeria is fine. everything is fine. So, do you see yourself? If you are not being paid for it, then maybe you are just a proud Nigerian, a proud idiot. Who is a proud idiot? A proud idiot is a typical Nigerian who lives in a dysfunctional Nigeria, where as it is himself, he is his own local government, mini local government. He provides his own housing. He provides his own security. He provides his own water, electricity. He provides his own medical care, and he provides the education of his own children, all paid for by a single person that's got nothing but to read about how trillions and trillions and trillions are being budgeted for the same thing, but he never had to see them. Then he turned around and he says, I am a proud Nigerian. And then you're like, God damn it, man. Or those ones who are like the patriotic Nigerians abroad. Those ones that every October 1st, I think that one is reducing now. Nigeria won't kill them, won't choke them, destroy them, change their destinies, and they decided to run away. And they found solace elsewhere, where they are more respected, treated with more dignity as a human. Now they found their bearing, comfort. Every 1st of October from Canada, they will go and look for green, white, green. Dress themselves like mannequins. Dress their children. Then they will begin to take a photo session. The patriotic Nigerians from abroad that will never live in Nigeria. I love my country. From abroad, though. I love my country. I want Nigeria to. Don't let us badmouth our country. They don't stop talking bad about your country. We should love our country from abroad. I love my country from abroad. And I'm a patriotic Nigerian, won't worry. But they will never, ever, ever relocate anything they love back to that place. Ever, ever. No amount of racism, no amount of discrimination, no amount of profiling they suffer abroad, they will never return to the contraption. But they are going to tell you, you better don't destroy your country. You better don't let anybody tell you, Nigeria is the only country we have. I want where they have all the Canadian passport too. They have British passport too. Their children are they are Americans, so Germans, so European, right? They themselves, they've done everything to become citizens of elsewhere. But since Nigeria is just like a graveyard, where vultures go to, over, around, take a look at who you can take advantage of, who you can use as your house help, house slave, sex slave, and everyone you can cheat, where you can get away with so many things. Things that are their own fetish fantasies where they live. Things that will send them to jail. It is only a lawless place like Nigeria, led by criminals, that they can get away with all of that. So why should that stop? Why? Selfishness, greed is why they don't want it to stop. Some of them are already fantasizing how to go and become governor there, to go and become senators, to go and become part of your ruiners. So they are displaying, I love Nigeria from abroad. While the rest of them inside the contraption, they are moving their families out of Nigeria. They are buying citizenship. They are buying passport for their families elsewhere. They do not believe in Nigeria. They do not believe in any future of Nigeria. But you and your children, you have nowhere else to go. But they said, asking for a better life, is that you want to destroy Nigeria. She Nigeria, well, all right, bye. In your own opinion, a lot of you are already dropping out of schools. People who finish school self, they suffer. Talk less of you that they are now telling you. Our education has come. There are so many people that make it in life. They don't go school. You too. Eh? God damn it. Well, you've got those that motivate you there too. MC Olueron is one of them. I mean, at least he didn't have to do much, right? You're a serious mentor. This is the future, right? And if you look at it very well, it is not looking good. But it's going to come. That future is going to come. And as for these guys, some of them will be gone. The consequences of all of this, right? A lot of us will live enough to suffer it. And that's why you were like, if they say, may God give you long life. Sometimes you have to ask that, please, God, add location. Because what is the point of having a long life in a place that is so assaulted, where the citizens have become so brutalized, their future mortgaged, children? I mean, it should break out, they say. However, here is one, how they are contributing to what will continue to impoverish you. And if you still flying the flag of a tribe, ethnic, and all of that, religion, I'll tell you their second, their second phase, if the religious bodies are unable to control you. Yesterday, I believe, Sheyi Makinde said something I played this afternoon, talking about this local government autonomy and all of that stuff, right? I've sort of said a lot on that. There is a part he said here, people are suffering, there is hunger, and there is anger. It is about to manifest. I'll replay that.
Where's the, where are we going? So, just this morning, as we are the commissioning place, they said, oh, okay, there was judgment of the Supreme Court, there's local government autonomy, financial autonomy, and all of that. And I will still say it. I think it's just a distraction. We must face the real issues that we have. And the issue that we have is we are not producing enough. We're not productive. Whatever it is that we're sharing in Abuja, which is what this FAQ is all about. Oh, okay. Whatever is in Abuja, share it to the local government. Is that our problem? Well, okay, maybe it may be a part of the problem that, yes, you want to have a value for what is being shared, but our real problem is productivity. How much are those local governments generating within their domain?
Productivity. How can you be productive when every investment they put into power is siphoned? Now they take all this, and then years later, they're still talking about, we need to be productive. I've been hearing about Nigeria being a dumping ground for the rest of the world. Yeah, people go up and bring all kinds of things from all over the world, and they import them into Nigeria. But when all those cargo planes, the ships or the vessels who are leaving, they all leave empty-handed. I've been hearing that for a long time, not producing anything. How can you produce something that ordinary electricity generation and distribution is a big problem? Oil-producing country that cannot refine our own crude oil, depending on importation. That is not life. And it will never change, ever. They award road contracts, they will never do it. One of them rode on the East-West Road. And that one is from the Bayelsa. See him ranting about the bad state, the terrible state of the road. People have died on that same road, though. Billions, hundreds of billions have been stolen on the same road. But just same talk. You see why when I said entire system, including your state government, the House of Assembly, they all have to go. When you're asking all of them to go, all of them have to go. And that is what you call revolution.
Go into the east-west road. If that contractor does not have the capacity, please, Mr. President, hand over that road to the Niger Delta Development Commission. I was arranged to travel by air, and I told myself, those who are traveling on that road are Rivers people, are Bayelsa people, are Niger Delta people. And if they are suffering, let me go and see their suffering. And I couldn't believe what I saw today. Some people have been there for 1 week. Some have been there for 2 days. That is not the Niger Delta that we want to be. That is not the Niger Delta our forefathers dreamt about. And so I appeal particularly to our own son who is here representing Mr. President to take this message to the President and let them act fast on the east-west road. Thank you and God bless you all.